Hey, what's up everyone? It's Ryan with MyListing Club. In this video, we're going to be looking at the default MyListing header. We're going to see if we can recreate a professional looking footer using nothing more than what's native to us with the MyListing theme and WordPress. Okay, let's go ahead and quickly look at the footer we're going to try to recreate, and that is the footer for the upcoming Canvas starter site for MyListing. Okay, this is a product of the MyListing Club. So let's see how close we can get to designing this. This is completely unrehearsed. I've done nothing to prepare for this. I'm going to be fumbling around most likely because, as we're going to see here, what I do know for sure is that it is clunky to work with the widgets and within WordPress that we're going to need to work with to get this to go. And then also MyListing is just limited in what you can do with the footer. So I'm anticipating there's going to be some, there's going to be quite a bit, I anticipate, of fiddle farting around. But if you like that sort of thing and seeing how people face issues and resolve them, this video is for you. If you're looking for a polished video that every other YouTuber out there does, where they rehearse, they edit videos and things like that and make everything just try to make perfect, like there's never any issues, then this video is not for you. Okay, so tune away if you want, but if you want to join this journey with me, let's go ahead and do that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move this footer off to my other screen. Here we are looking at a default MyListing website. It has nothing more than the demo install, the main demo for MyListing added. As we see down here, you may or may not recognize that this is actually even a footer, but that's what this area down here is. The only real indication to me is maybe these social icons and this copyright down here in the bottom. All right. Other than that, doesn't really look like a footer to me. You will also notice a skip to the top, scroll to the top icon down here in the bottom right. When I build MyListing websites, that is the only aspect of the MyListing footer that I even bother using. It's nice, so no problems there. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. Behind the scenes here, let's see. How do we even get started with this? So first we want to go to Theme Tools and Theme Options and go to the Footer tab. Okay, so here we go. We are choosing to show the footer. We've got a background color for the footer, and we're showing the widgets, which correspond to the WordPress widgets, the native WordPress widgets. So that's Appearance, WordPress Dashboard, Appearance, you see down here in the bottom left of my screen, Appearance and Widgets. So this is what we're talking about. They look a little different here because I am using the Widgets Options plugin. So let me go ahead and delete that plugin or deactivate that plugin. We're going to touch on the Widgets Options plugin shortly, but let me deactivate that for now and refresh this. So this is what you would get out of the box default native with WordPress. This is what it's going to look like. So it looks quite a bit different. It focuses more on the new WordPress block editor versus the old widget style. We'll call it the classic style. Okay, so here we go. So that's what the show widgets is doing. Widgets per row on desktop. So we're saying show all of the widgets in one single row. So that would be kind of like how these listing previews are displayed here. So just straight across one row. Okay. Widgets per row on tablet. So when it switches to a smaller screen, the tablet view, we're going to put two of these, 1, 2. So two per row. And then on mobile, we're just going to show one widget per row. So widgets can be anything. So let me pull back this footer. Widgets can be anything from image, text, social icons, copyright, menus, whatever. Okay, so that's what we're talking about when we say widgets. All right. Okay, so what else do we have here? We have show footer menu. So that is, they're not using that in the demo. So that is Appearance, WordPress Dashboard, Appearance, Menus. So you see here in our menu settings options, we have an option to declare a footer menu. Okay, we don't want to do that in this case. We may or may not want to do that in this case because I think we want to build these individually. So, but that's what this means. If you would check this if you would declare a menu, so let's create a menu here. There we go. So there's already one built in to my listing. So let's go ahead and switch to that menu. So here's the footer menu. Oh, that's how it is. How they are using it. Okay. So they created a footer menu and then they added the social media icons. So that's what creates this menu right here. Okay. Or we'll call it a menu. You have to pardon my, not knowing this stuff. I just don't use it because it's so limited and I haven't explored this until right now here in this video, but that's how you do it. You build your footer menu as you want, and then you define it right here with this checkbox footer menu. And then that's what my listing, let's go back to our theme tools, theme options. That's what this is right here. This toggle is going to pull that footer menu from WordPress into there. Footer text, this is where that copyright is coming from. One of the downsides with this is that you may or may not notice is that there's no copyright date. So you really need a copyright date in there and you need it to be dynamic. So every year it gets automatically updated to the current year. Right now it's just stale just text and a copyright symbol. Okay. And then lastly, the show back to top button. This is like I said, this is until now, and maybe even so after this video, as far as my listings default options go, this is the only thing that I ever use. Okay. So any starter site of mine that you see, I'll even show you. So theme tools, theme options. This is the upcoming Canvas starter site. You'll see the only thing I use is the back to top button because I'm building my footers with Elementor Pro. Okay. So that is that. We've got our menus there. We'll go ahead and leave that open. Let's just leave all of this stuff up here as default for now. Just so we have an apples to apples comparison, I'm going to get the color over here. 1 second. I'm going to get the color of my actual footer that we're trying to replicate. Okay, so I've copied that. I'm going to update that here. Okay, so now we've got that in there. So if we go to the front end here and we refresh, now we see a bit of definition. We can clearly see where this footer is being built. So we actually see this right here with whatever these things are. I call them jelly beans or Mike and Ike's, if you're familiar with that candy. So this actually isn't a footer right there. I'm just going to get rid of that actually, just because I want to. Just make things cleaner for this how this all turns out. I just don't like that at all. So let's get rid of this right here. Cool. In my opinion, if they were designing that demo the right way, they would have that would have been part of the footer. I would have shown that on every page because it's essentially an advertisement, right? So that's what I would have done. Okay, anyway, so let's refresh and there we go. So now we've got a clean delineation. I'll just look, between this section right here and then the footer. All right. Okay, so let's dive in and see how we're going to build this. Again, we need to build this with widgets, and yeah, so let's dive into the widgets. So let's go to our widgets page in WordPress, and here we see that it's broken down by footer. So this is how you know where you need to add your widgets. We need to add them to the footer, right? So we're going to click this big plus box here. And okay, we've got 6 options here that WordPress is presenting. Let's just browse all of these. That puts this nice little side menu over here with tons of options. And to recreate this, the first thing we need to try to do is we need to try to get 4 columns across here. That's the first thing we need to do. So let's go to theme options and let's do 4 widgets per row. So that should give us that four columns. Let's try that. Let's go back to our widgets. And let's just refresh this just to see if anything changes in here. Okay, let's click back into here to add a widget. Is there anything with columns in here? So there are actually columns. So what we could do to really mimic this, let's put this 1 widgets per row back just to see what happens. Let's go back to our widgets. Let's put the columns in here. So let's try to do 4 columns to match. Are they even going to let us do 4 columns? do 3. Okay, that's interesting. So 1, 2, 3 columns. Can you add a 4th column? Okay, that's alignment. So 1, 2, 3, and then we've got looks like a 4th block down there. Interesting. Okay, let's get out of the columns. Excuse me. Let's get out of the columns for now. Let's get back to where we were here. How do we do that? You see how it's kind of it's not very intuitive to work with compared to, say, Elementor Pro. So let's try this a different way. Let's just add 4 different blocks, 4 different column blocks stacked on top of each other and see where that gets us. Okay, so here's a column. We're going to we'll start with 100% just so we can get the stuff in here. Okay, in this column, let's add an image. So there's an image. Let's drop in our favicon there. Okay, so that's that. Let's put in this next one, which I'm assuming is the next column over. So that would be, let's put like a heading type of widget, or we can do paragraph. Let's drop heading in there. Let's see if we can switch it to H6. So that's fine. Let's do an H6. Let's name that heading. Let's see. So we did platform, explore, and stay informed. Platform. Let's do another one here. I think we can duplicate this actually. Duplicate. Explore. And let's duplicate that one more time. Okay, so that's that. Let's try that and just see where that gets us. Okay, so that gets us one column with everything in one column. Okay, so that's obviously not what we want. We want 4 separate columns. And really quick, guys, this right here, if this text, if you're wondering why it is so small, so font size 12, this is an issue with MyListing, guys. This is, if you have not beat them to death in the support forums for MyListing, you 1000% should. This is a major inaccessibility issue. I'm not trying to instill fear in everybody, but guys, and this is going to start becoming, it's already a major issue, but it's going to be even a bigger issue in 2024 with accessibility issues and people getting sued, website owners getting sued. This is an issue with MyListing. These fonts are so small. You got to get on them like I have about this being fixed. To me, not just because it's an issue I've pointed out, but this should be at the top of their list if they care anything about your websites being accessible for your users. This is a fix. I've got a guide on how to fix it in a video, but this should be addressed. That's why this is so small. No way in the world should an H6 especially be this small. But and just check out the guide in the video. You'll see what I mean. I'll get off my soapbox there, but super frustrating. Okay, so what do we got here? We've got a logo, an image, and it is in select column. Let's see, what do we do here? This part right here is not a MyListing issue. This is a WordPress issue. It's why I don't use the block editor. I hate it. Currently hate it. Someday maybe I'll embrace it. So how do we maybe drag this? Okay, that doesn't help with this though. I feel like we need to put columns in here. So let's put 3 columns. Okay, there's our 3 columns. Can we drag our image to that column? Okay, can I add an image to, can I drag that image? I feel like I should be able to drag that image. Can I move that to a column? No. Okay, so let's just go, instead of fighting, let's try to add an image to this column. Okay, let's add our heading to this column. Again, that's a MyListing issue, very frustrating. That's why that text is so small. Okay, let's add our next column over here, which is another heading. Let's change that to an H6. These can be H6 as long as you don't use H6 anywhere on your page for SEO, which is not really, doesn't really hold a ton of SEO value, if at all. Or you can just make it a paragraph tag in there if you want. You want to make sure you're not using H1s, H2s, H3s. Probably, H4 might be okay, but I would just try to drop it all the way down to H6 or just use the paragraph tag. Okay, so we've got that. Let me delete these others. You can tell I'm already in my voice. I'm already getting annoyed with this. Just should be easier. Okay, I'm going to delete this. Again, this part right here is a WordPress issue, not a MyListing issue. Okay, so we got that there. How do I delete this block? Can I delete this block? Don't know that I can. All right, let's update this, see what we have. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Let's refresh this. Okay, so we're starting to see our columns. Okay, still not pretty. So can we adjust this column, these columns? I might not even make it through this video, guys. This is so frustrating. Don't even know what the hell is going on. No, I don't want another. Okay, I think I got rid of it there finally. Okay, so we've got our columns, I think. What's this do? Select column. Can I group all of my columns together? Is there a nav tree over here? Let's see here. Man, this is horrible. Footer. Okay, so we're in the footer block. Great. Now what? Block, nothing. I've got my column, my column, my column. How do I group these things together? Alignment, caption, we don't want that. Can I group this? Okay, we're getting somewhere now. Transform to row, okay. So that is that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, guys, not going to make it through this video. So, yeah, I didn't know it was going to be this bad. This is bad. Let me take one more stab at this. Let's just start. Can I even start over? How easy is it to start over? Okay, so it looks like we're starting over. Okay, so let's add our columns right away to what's a group? Group blocks together, select layout. Okay, arrange blocks horizontally. That sounds, gather blocks in a container. That's what I would really want to do. If you're not familiar with this word, Elementor, not too long ago came out with containers. You should really, really get on board with containers. The upcoming Canvas starter site is entirely built with containers. Makes things much cleaner, much faster to work with. All right, so I created a footer group that is configured as a container, which we can see over here on the right side. Everything's going to be centered. I think that's fine. We'll worry about everything else later. Okay, transform to a row. We don't want to do that. Yeah, so that's better than columns. I shouldn't have been fighting with columns. So let's add our block. Let's try this again. Let's add an image, media library. Okay, there's our image. Let's add our next block. We should be able just to add a block in here. And because if it's a container, it should just work as long as the direction is correct. I'm going to name this test for now. Let's do another one, heading test. You know what? I'll leave this as H2s just for now, just because so they're easier to view. Because that is horrible. Test 2. Let's do test 1. Okay, so that's in our group. Okay, does this belong in our group? It doesn't look like it does. Can I drag this? I don't think I can drag this. So how do I add something else to this group? Widget group. Oh, maybe that's it. All right, let's transform this to a widget group. Widget group. I don't know what the title is for. Footer. Widget group. Don't even know what this is doing. Transform to a group. Is this currently a widget group? So it looks like it is currently a widget group, according to this. How do I add additional widgets to it? Select parent block widget area. Okay, is that this? That's just the image. This is the group. How do I add something to the group? Group, drag, move widget area. Oy vey. Add after. Okay, let's see. So maybe we add this heading. Let's try adding this heading. We'll call this, where do you even type? Can't even type into this. Can't edit the text. There we go. We'll call this column 1. Okay, so that's there. Let's add something else here. Click this plus symbol, add another heading. No, I didn't want to do that because then that's going to put it before. Let's see if we can do another one after. Okay, let's get back to our group. Plus symbol. Nope. Let's go back to our group. Add after. No. Okay. This is crazy. How do I delete this? Wow, that just deleted the whole thing. Okay, guys, I am not going to be able to do this with the native. I probably can if I spend days figuring this out. I'm not doing it. So I really hoped that I could help people do this, figure this out without needing, just being able to do it natively to my listing is hugely important. Again, this is not my listing's fault for the most part. Yes, the footer part is limited, but right here, this widgets, showing these widgets, only having that option, now we are limited to what WordPress is giving us, which we're seeing here. It is painful to work with. Add an image, Trying to add, click on the media library. That's not work. It just doesn't work. Very frustrating. And I could have had this done in Elementor already. It would have been done. Okay, so let's stop that. Okay, so this was never meant to be, a plug at all for what I'm about to show you, but let's look at this and see if it's better. So plugins. What we're going to do is we're going to enable this. This is a partner with the widgets options plugin. Okay, this is a partner. I never intended to show this in this video, really. So, but it's already installed. Let's check it out. So let's refresh this page. I do know, as we saw earlier in the video, that this page is going to transform. There we go. Perhaps this will be easier to work with. I am not sure. Okay, so now we see, here's the footer option. Okay, what can we do here? I'm just going to do a search on this page for container. Is there anything with containers? There's a block, a widget containing a block, excuse me. Okay, let's go to manage the widget options. So this is the options of the actual plugin. Let's see what we can do here. They give you an option here, it looks like, to go back to the classic widget screen, which we saw is how painful that is to use. Column display, manage your widgets display as columns, set as different columns. Okay, column display. Short codes, widget option areas. Extra helpful management options below each sidebar widget areas. Elementor page builder support. Extends widget options functionality to... That's interesting. So what we're really looking for, we're just trying to recreate what we've done again with that other footer, that professionally built footer that I did. Not trying to get into all the features of this plugin in this video. Move widget, easily move widgets to any sidebar widget, fixed widget. Okay, so I'm not seeing column display. Let's look at that. I'm trying to figure out how to display these columns effectively. Column display feature allows you to... Okay, so it should be just enabled by default. All right, let's go back here. Let's do a search for column. Nothing. All right. So maybe we just need to rely on the theme option. So as we see here, widgets per row 1. I think we need to set this to 4 to get our 4 columns. So let's update that. Let's drop our widgets in. You know what? With that said, let's go back one more time. Let's not give up just yet. Let's go back here. Let's go back to our widgets, appearance, widgets. Let's try this one more time. With that setting, maybe we can just stack these and call it a day as far as the alignment goes. All right, so let's just add a widget. Add our image. I don't know why I can now add an image from the media library, whereas I couldn't before. It's just bizarre. All right, so let's do a heading, column 1. Let's do another heading, column 2. And let's do our let's do our other column where that newsletter was at. So let's call that column 3. Okay, so now according to how this is configured in my listing, 4 widgets per row. These should now stack across, okay, the width of the screen, I'm hoping. So let's refresh. There we go. Okay, so we got that. Now, what is next? We need to add a text, make this image smaller and add text below it. All right, this should be fun. Let's see. So there's our image. We need this to be in a column. It has to be in a column. So how do we do that? That's our image. This is alignment. Group. What does group do again? We're grouping it together as a group, as a transform to row, transform to stack. So we want this to be a group. And then in this group, let's see if we can add some text below it. Okay. Let's copy our exact text from here. Okay. So now we're all in the same group according to this. Let's update. Okay. Starting to get somewhere. Let's make this image smaller. All right, we're just going to eyeball it for the purposes of this video and don't have to get perfect with it. So there's that. What else do we have? We've got the text. And then in that same column, we've got the social media icons. All right, so we're still in this group. Hopefully we can, there we go. All right. Social media icons, social icons. All right, that's cool. Let's click plus to add one. Let's just do, see if we can do Facebook. What else we got? YouTube and Instagram. YouTube. All right, we are on a little bit of a roll here. Instagram. All right, do they give you any options to style these? Okay, so let's look at the style first. No options to style as far as I can tell. No option to change the icon. You just get what you get, okay? So that's that. You do get to edit the link, but I'm not seeing where you can specify to follow the link and open it in a new tab. So let's just say, hypothetically, this was the MyListing Club website. Okay, and then let's hit this icon here to set it as a link, and let's update here. Oh, I see. Okay, over on the right. Again, I don't work in the block editor because I just despise it so much. Maybe I'll feel different after this. I'm not sure. But over here, we've got some options. It looks like Facebook label, link label. Okay, this is great for accessibility. Briefly describe the link label. Advanced. Okay, here we go. So here's where you can specify, whether it's like a sponsored link, if you're an affiliate or something like that. The no follow and stuff like that. All right. But still, if you're not an expert level, or if you're just a new person to WordPress, a new person to MyListing, like, you're not going to know what this stuff means. There's no tooltips here. There's nothing to help you with this stuff. Whereas like with Elementor Pro, for example, it's all just very intuitive and easy to do. All right. So let's save our changes here. We're good. So let's refresh. All right. So we are starting to get there. Okay. It's not the end of the world. Here we go. Let's say, click that link. See, it takes us off the page, the website, to a new website. We do not want to do that. So you would need to configure those links to be no follow and open in a new tab. I didn't even see a way to open these in a new tab. So you would have to manually put that in there to make that do that. That is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Okay. That aside, let's move on. The next column, we've got a menu here. So under platform, we've got a menu. So let's add a menu under there. First, we need to set up another group, I think. So column 1 here, this needs to be a group. All right, let's start a group. All right, cool. So let's now add a menu. Nav menu. Cool. Let's select our menu. We will just choose something random here. Let's do primary menu, and let's save that and see what we get. Okay, that is the text. Let's go look at our menus real quick. Let's Let's ensure we've got something in here for these menus. Okay, primary menu has nothing in it. That's why it's doing that. So I'm just gonna, for the purposes of this video, just create some dummy links. Link 1, link 2, and link 3. And save our menu. We have it set to primary here, so it's gonna be called, so save menu. All right, let's refresh our page. There we go. So now it's got that in there. So we could have actually, we could have done this a different way. We wouldn't need to call this column 1. We could have removed that particular widget. So this widget could actually go away, which is probably going to kill the whole group. Nope, it didn't. So this is still stuck in a group. That's cool. So now if we update this, we should still have our column header there. It would just be called something different. Cool. So that is that. And we would want to call that, just so we have apples to apples, platform. All right, let's go back to our widget and let's just call this platform. All right, let's change this one. Actually, we're going to delete this one. We're going to delete, now that we know this, we're going to delete those others, okay? And we're going to just duplicate these. So duplicate. We're going to change our nav menu name to Explorer. We'll set that menu here in a second. Let's duplicate this again. And this one wasn't a nav menu, so let's see. This was actually text and stuff. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to go back, we're going to delete this. We're going to duplicate this original one up here since it's got some text and stuff in it. Let's duplicate that, and then let's move this down. Oh, it's just pulling the image down. All right. All right, we'll just create another one. So let's create a new heading here. We'll call this Stay Informed. And we want this to all be in a block. So we're going to create that group again. Okay, there we go. And then we want that text to be below there. Okay, we're getting there. Remember, we set this Explore menu, so we need to create that. So let's create a new menu. We'll call it Explore. We're going to put some dummy links in here as we did before. Link 1, link 2, link 3. Okay, so then let's go here and refresh our widgets page so we can get that Explore menu specified. There we go. All right, so let's refresh and let's see what we have got going. Oops, wrong page. This one. There we go. It's starting to come together. I'm actually shocked. It's coming together. All right, let's see what we got here. Next up is the, actually, I don't see the social media icons down here. So where did those go? Did I get rid of those? Maybe I accidentally got rid of those. Boy. All right, let's select our group again. Let's add our social icons back. I'm just going to do, for the purpose of this video, we're just going to put Facebook in there. All right, let's see if we're back to where we were. No, I am not seeing those. Okay, because we want our social media links in there with widgets, we're going to just get rid of what MyListing did here. So let's go back to theme tools. We don't need to show, we don't want to show this. Well, we'll leave that actually there. We'll come back to that. I apologize. Again, I told you there'd be some waffling at the beginning of this video, so you're seeing it. Maybe these don't show unless we actually put a link in here. Let's just put a dummy link. Update. There we go. So now we have that shown there. Okay, so the next step, we need to go over to the Stay Informed column. We need to put some text in there, and we need to put a newsletter, or a form in this case, that collects from a newsletter. All right, so in there, let's put in, you can, instead of clicking the plus symbol, you can click the slash that leans to the right as I show right there, and then it brings up a menu. Sometimes that's much faster to work with. All right, so we need some paragraph text. So where is that? I thought P would bring up paragraph, but it is not. Let's click the plus symbol, paragraph. That's weird. Wasn't coming up. Oh, and that's because, I think it's because paragraph is by default. All right, so let's just put in same text. All right, so that text is in there. Now we're going to add to that group. To that group, we're going to add a form. Hopefully there's a form in here. There's only contact form 7. Yuck. Do not like contact form 7. Let's see here. Let me quickly, bear with me. Let me quickly pull in Elementor Pro. I was trying to avoid, I wanted to do this with Elementor Pro just to give people the options of not having to use it. For fun though, let's just see if I think we can call this. So let me see here. I think we can call an Elementor Pro form just for fun. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, so I'm going to install Elementor Pro here real quick. Plugins. Oh, okay. So it looks like we already had it. So that's my bad. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead. We already have Elementor Pro, so that's interesting. So maybe we can't call it with the native widget. So let's go back and for fun, let's activate the widgets options plugin and see then if we can actually call an Elementor form. Again, this is getting a little off base, but I want to see if we can do that here. Elementor Page Builder Support. Okay. Forms are part of Elementor Pro, so we definitely would need Pro. Let's see if there's any settings in here we need to configure. Looks like no, it's good by default. Okay, let's refresh our widget page. Okay, it's going to look different here. Oh, this is nice. Okay, I see. Definitely gives you some more options. Let's go back for the purposes of this video. Let's go back to, see if we can get back to the classic screen. Because again, we're trying to recreate this with native WordPress and MyListing. There we go. All right, so we're back to this. That's cool. All right, now let's see if we can add a form to this group here. So form. Not seeing it. Let's see. Form. Contact form 7. It does call Trapetto. Trapetto is another partner. That's a plugin that's installed on this website. That is really awesome to be able to use that. I'm not sure why. Let me check something real quick. I'm not sure why Elementor here is. Okay, I don't have it. I don't have that widget disabled. Why would the forms not show? This feature will unlock widget options, the widget options sections on every Elementor widget. Oh, so this actually is within Elementor widgets instead of being able to call Elementor widgets. Okay. So this is going to get way off, way outside of what I was doing here. But what I do notice here is short codes. So you could create a short code with Elementor Pro. So let's just really quickly say, let's just add for fun a new template. Let's do a container. I'll call this form. And let's add a form. Let's pretend this is our form. Okay, so let's save, let's publish this. Now we go into our templates and we have our form. We can copy the short code here according to this widgets options plugin. I'm thinking this should work. So then we go back to our widgets. Now in this group, we add a short code block. Okay, let's do that. Paste in our short code for our Elementor form, update, and let's see what we get. Bingo, there we go. So that would give you the option now, that gives you this. Now you can hook into your newsletter and stuff like that. But again, that's with the widget options plugin. Again, a partner, and then you can get a deal from the club website, but you have to have this widget option. You can see how powerful this thing is. Pretty sweet stuff. But again, we tried to do this with the native MyListing stuff and native WordPress. I'm just going to keep saying that. So I'm going to deactivate this again. Okay. Contact Form 7 is available to you. I don't like that plugin for a lot of reasons, but it is available. So let's check that out. All right, so let's get rid of this short code block. Let's just work with our Contact Form 7. All right. I think I saw 2 Contact Form 7s. Let's just use this one. It just looks prettier. Drag that in. We need to specify our form. So let's find our forms in our dashboard here. Where are the forms? There we go. Contact forms. Okay, so here's our form. I'm not going to get into configuring this form, but I don't use Contact Form 7, never will. Unless a client uses it and absolutely is adamant about using it, I'll support it, but I just don't want to use it. You probably, I'm guessing, need an add-on to get any kind of a newsletter thing hooked into it. All right. Anyway, so Contact Form 7. Let's see how we connect to that here in the widget. So there we go. We just select that, update. All right, let's see what we've got. Okay, so there's our form. Obviously, you can customize this to get it down to one line. Let's go into our form. Let's just take out everything. Let's see, what do we have and what we're trying to replicate here. We're trying to replicate email and sign up. That's it. That's all we're trying to replicate. So email, let's take out everything but email and sign up. There we go. All right, let's refresh and see what we got. Okay, there we go. I'm guessing within Contact Form 7, natively, there's a way to put these all in one line. I think there is, now that I think about it here. We should be able to do something like this, I'm guessing. Oh, you can't put those on the same line. Anyway, there's ways. There's even plugins. Again, I'm trying to avoid doing that. There's plugins to help you style Contact Form 7. The fact that you need a plugin to help you style Contact Form 7 tells you all you need to know. Okay, anyway. Not the end of the world, but we're not going to be able to replicate. We're not going to be able to replicate the newsletter part or the style of the form in this video without keeping you on here for a long time. In the end, we'll recap of what we weren't able to replicate here. Okay, so next below, we need to go back to our widgets. We need to add to this group, we need to add more text. All right, and we need this text. And okay, so it already copied that link in there. So this one has a new tab. That's interesting. All right, let's see where we are at now. Okay, so that's there, and we've got our links here. Social. All right, so next up, how do we get this border in here? That is going to be interesting. So I would say we just keep building. Let's do a divider, maybe. Separator, they call it. And let's do color. Let's do that light gray, default wide line. Let's see what that gets us. That might be the same color actually as my actual background color. So let's do just black. Not seeing that separator in there. Could be something I am doing wrong. Highly likely it is something I'm doing wrong. Style default wide line. What does that mean? Okay, let's see what that does. Just not seeing it. Maybe it'll pop up once some content goes below it. Anywho, okay, so next up, we need to get this and this in there. So that's got to be 2 columns. It's the only way I can think to do that. So let's add add 2 columns. 50-50. All right, that sounds good. Okay, in this first column, let's add some text. Okay, we're going to drop that in there. And then next one is another menu. Let's go ahead and create that menu. We are going to call this, create a new menu. We're going to call this legal. We'll call this legal and sitemap. And create the menu again with our dummy links. But we'll actually name these privacy, terms and conditions, and sitemap. Save our menu. Let's refresh our update and refresh our menus, our widgets page. Let's actually see if it can actually find these right away. So nav, menu, and select our menu. Cool. So it can already find that. We don't need a title in there because we don't want it to create that title heading. Now, how do we put these menu items side by side? Legacy widget, display a legacy. I don't know. Legacy widget. Oh, I don't know how to lay these out horizontally. What's this? Okay, so let's go ahead and refresh and just see what we got here. Yeah, see it's not great. So we would need to get in here to the columns and figure this out. So what is this? Columns. Okay, let's group these together maybe. All right, so that creates a group. We've got them centered. Let's see what that gets us. Okay, it's not stretching full width, or at least even in the content width. So see, I'm only seeing, oh, percentages. Okay, here we go. So let's see if we can do 100% wide. Nope. Okay, maybe I'm looking at that, not understanding what that setting does. What's this do? This is colors, typography. Justification is centered. Looking for other blocks settings, they've moved to the Styles tab, whereas I don't see anything called Styles tab. Styles tab. All right. What else? Can we change this, transform to a row? Okay, a row that is centered. Let's try that. Okay, back to the frustration again of WordPress. I have no clue what I'm doing here. I could get in there with HTML and fix this, but that's not what the average person is going to do. Okay, so that is what it is. I don't want to keep people on here forever as I try to figure that out. You can see how frustrating and painful it is. So another thing we could do, let's see, just for fun. Let's use what MyListing had for us there. Let's see down here. Let's use this stuff down here. Let's get rid of these widgets. Got our separator there. It's not showing for some reason. We've got a color for it. So annoying. So annoying. Okay, whatever. Moving on. So we got those gone. Let's go back to here. So MyListing is using. Get rid of some screens here. MyListing is using this footer text right here to display. So we could do that. The problem with doing that here is now we don't have the dynamic. So you could go in every year and change this. Not ideal. Actually, to mimic exactly what we're doing here, we'd call this canvas. You could do that every year and set a reminder, but it's just not, it's not ideal. What else? We could also do this. It won't be apples to apples comparison, but we could drop it in our left column here. So under the social media icons. So let's go back to this group. Let's add paragraph text in here. Is there an option to do anything dynamic? No. Date. Post date. Nothing with dates. Calendar. No, I don't want that. Post. Is there anything with meta? Meta. What's our meta options? Meta. Not seeing anything. Okay, useless. All right. Let's just add our text block in there and see what that gives us. So paragraph. Let's add our copyright information in here. Now, is there any ability to do anything dynamic text-wise? Maybe you could do it with some HTML. Not sure. A little above my pay grade there. I'm pretty sure there's plugins on the market to do dynamic data natively with the block editor, but again, we're trying trying to do this without adding any additional plugins. So I think that kind of is what it is at this point. We'll use the theme options to display this. And we're going to show the footer menu, but let's go to our footer menu. This is what the MyListing guys. We'll start this over. We're going to delete the footer menu. We're going to create a new one. Specify it as the footer, and we're just going to do, again, some dummy links. And let's do privacy policy. Oh, you know what? We can do this. Let's do this. Legal and sitemap. Let's just not recreate the wheel. Let's set this as our footer menu. Sorry, brain fart there. Okay, so now let's see what we've got here. Way down the page, but it is horizontally displaying those links. Again, that's so small because it's a MyListing issue that they need to fix. I don't know where all that spacing is coming in. It's probably something here in this divider. I'm going to actually take this divider out. It's not displaying anyway. Okay, let's do that. Let's see if that gets us our space back. Yeah, it kind of gets our space back there. So we've got our links in there and all that. Okay, so much better than what the default theme gives us. So I'm going to pull that back up again. So let's pull up in the MyListing demo. We're going to look here at the. So again, here's the demo as it was originally. Okay. This is the whole footer right here. The social icons and this down here. That's it. Okay. So we have come a long way. We've gotten pretty close to this, but let's start looking at some of the limitations though. Styling these icons, the social media icons, and linking to them with a no follow and an open and in a new tab. I could not see a way to easily do that here natively to WordPress. Okay. Hover states of these menu items. You can't see it here. I can actually pull up in the actual live website so you can see how that actually works. So here's a live look at the actual website. And we see how these links, they're actually not doing it here. I'll have to look at that after this video, but these links change colors here on hover. I'm not sure why they're not now. That's a little strange. Anyway, I don't see how to do that in here without, you'd have to manually add CSS, where with Elementor Pro, it's just, it's built in, it's a couple clicks and you're good to go. Here, the newsletter form, I am not seeing how to do that natively. You can use, we have this form here, but again, it's contact form 7. Probably going to need another, I don't know. I don't use contact form 7. I'm guessing there's probably a way, but you need to hook that into a newsletter where with Elementor Pro, it's just, again, a couple clicks and you're good to go. The limitations down here, this date, copyright date is dynamic with Elementor Pro, and a couple clicks and you're good to go. I don't see a way to do that natively with WordPress unless I'm just missing it. I showed you the divider. I don't know why that wasn't coming in, and just this overall struggle of trying to get all of this to line up and look good, configuring the typography and the spacing of everything. It's doable, but you can see how much time it took. And I do build this stuff at WordPress websites and Elementor websites, MyListing websites every day, all day. And you see how big of a pain it is. Now, if you come into this as a new MyListing user or a new WordPress user, it's just not feasible to use this. I just recommend you go straight to Elementor Pro. That's just the best advice that I can give you. But if all you need is a really basic footer, then it might work for you. Get in there and tinker around. The block editor will get better over time, I hope, which is what we're looking at here. So long story short, it is doable. It's just more painful. It's more frustrating. It's more time consuming. The flexibility isn't there. Another thing I just thought of was With Elementor Pro, you have what's called dynamic conditions. So I can display different footers on different pages, or I can hide the footer altogether to avoid that. Certain pages you don't want that distraction, like a checkout page. You don't want to show a footer on a checkout page. You don't want to show it on a cart page. You don't want to probably don't want to show it in the My Account page. Now, how in the world are you going to do that natively with WordPress? You can't unless you buy a plugin. Whether it's this widget options plugin that I showed you, you can do it in there. Let's see, let's turn that back on. This unlocks a lot of ability with styling, disabling certain widgets to speed it up. Where was like role restrictions, hiding certain things by roles, display logic. So that's what I'm talking about. Partially what I'm talking about here, page visibility, hiding it on certain pages. So this would unlock all of that. So if you're looking at, trying to do some of this stuff and needing a plugin, I would definitely look at this one to do that, to take it to the next level. But I showed you, if you have Elementor Pro, how you can insert short codes all day long, and that gets you that full flexibility of using Elementor within these widgets. Yeah, what else can I say there? What else are we missing? What about responsiveness? How does this look on other devices? Not bad on laptop. Let's check. Okay, so everything aligns to the left, which is good. That's fine. What if we wanted to do it with center? How is that done? Where are the responsive settings and how easy are they to use? Okay, without getting into HTML and CSS and all that, like where do we configure mobile responsiveness in here? Can we? Super easy with Elementor Pro to do. All right. I'm going to get you guys out of here. This has been a long video, but I really think it's important. I get asked this a lot, like, why don't you use the native footer? And I think you're seeing why I don't use it. It's just so much faster to just come in here, toggle all of this stuff off, except for show the back to top button, configure, clear this out if you want or don't, doesn't matter. Save your changes, configure it with Elementor Pro, and call it a day. That's my advice. All right. If you're a starter site, MyListing starter site customer, Elementor Pro is included. If you're managed MyListing or a MyListing website care client, Elementor Pro is included with your plan. So I make Elementor Pro pretty easy to get for those that purchase the right plans, subscriptions with me. So that, in case you weren't aware of that, it's a huge value. All right, guys. So I will catch you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.